Hi everyone, Linda here again with you from Gumnut Lane Jewellery. Another link, or it doesn't have to be a link, it could be, you can use it for lots of things. Anyway, it's a leaf motif here. Link, it looks beautiful in a chain, which you'll see towards the end of the video. Use it as a pair of earrings. It can be used for so many different things. I don't know whether you've seen a leaf motif made before. I haven't done one on my channel that I can think of. So I thought I would share it with you guys. So if you're interested in learning how to make this, then just stay with me and I'll get all my supplies together and I'll get right back with you. Okay, so I have my 18 gauge wire. I've got it on the reel. The main reason I leave it on the reel is saving wire, pretty much. Excuse me. And I've got my wrap and tap here, and I'm using the smallest mandrel on the wrap and tap. And I'm going to come in about yay far. I'll just give you a quick measurement for that. I got about 5 centimeters, which is about 2 inches. Okay. We're going to just make a loose loop like that. Just put my wrap and tap aside. A little bit of a bend there. And then I'm going to grab my pointy nose pliers, and I'm just going to give that a little tweak there on the corner and there on the other side. I'm going to grab my flat nose pliers and I'm going to come in, if I can grab hold of that, and just give it a bend. And then you make this as pointy, or you know, whatever shape you like. But just remember, you need to leave enough space there because we're going, you know, if you're making a chain, you need to be able to hook into that one. That looks pretty good to me. Then back on the wrap and tap, or you know, mandrel of roughly that diameter, which is what is that, about 9 millimeters, I would say that is. Okay, and I'm going to push that down towards the end like that, and then I'm going to cross my wires over up here. Now you can make this leaf as big as you like. You could go on to the next mandrel or even the next mandrel, or you could just use your 6-step pliers and try any one of the mandrels on there, or anything that you've got that's a round shape, that's just, you know, size that you like. All right, so I've got that there. Get that out of there. Now I can cut off my wire to where I think about there. Put my wire aside. They're pretty much the same length, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn this around and shape the other side a bit more. Come on, get back on there. That's a pretty nice leaf shape, I think. And taps aside. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to torch, ball one end of this wire here. So I'll come back when I've done that. Okay, I'm back and I've torched that end and got a nice little ball on the end of my wire there. So now I'm going to grab my bench block and my metal hammer. Now if you don't want to use a metal hammer, you can use a rubber hammer, but you need to strengthen the wire and help so it keeps its shape. So what I'm going to do is hold on to that. I'm going to flare out the sides. I'm going to give the point just a little hammer. And then I'm going to flare out the other sides. Trying to keep my fingers out of the way so I don't smash them. It's just about healed up my blood blister there, but I don't want to hit it again. Funny, once you hit it hard like that, it makes you a little bit scared, but I'll get over it. Okay, so I've got that flared out. Now you can leave it like that, or you can come in and you can texture it, which I'm going to do. Just lightly hammer it. Okay, and I think that just sort of makes it look a little bit more rustic, like a leaf that's been outside, you know, that's that rustic look. Okay, put those away. Okay, from here I'm going to grab my flat nose pliers, and I'm going to bend this one that's not bald up, straight up like that. And I'm going to grab hold of my leaf like this, right at that point, and I'm going to bring that wire around. Straighten that up a little bit. And then tighten that loop up. Get in there and get it pretty tight. Okay, and then from here all you need to do is just bend this one into a shape that you like. I've got to go and get my nails done. Look, they've grown just about right off and they're getting way too long. I'm finding it so hard to do wire work. I don't know how other people do it with really long nails. I just haven't. Well, the one day that I could have gone this week and I was all ready to go, and then it started raining, and I won't drive in the rain. It's people on the roads are just stupid, especially when you've had a long period of dry weather and then it rains and the roads get slippery and they just keep driving at the same speed, and yeah, no consideration for other drivers on the road. Okay, that's looking nice. I like the way that that looks. Happy with that. Now you can give this a hammer if you want, with the rubber hammer to strengthen up, but if you've got a tumbler you don't need to worry about that. It will harden on its own. Just make sure that you push it down a little bit so it's not, you know, sticking up and getting caught on things. So just try and make it sort of level with the other wire there. Okay, so now all we need to do is make our loop. Now you can do, if you're making earrings, you would, you know, bend your wire this way or that way, whichever, and make your loop like that. But if you're putting it in a chain, then make your loop go, you know, from the front to the back. So we're going to make it go from the front to the back. So I'm just going to hold that, to support that part here while I just bend that wire forward. And cut off what I think I need for a loop. Always cut a little bit more if you're not sure. I know I've said that a few times before, but I know that also too there's new people watching that may not know that. And then grab, you know, some sort of mandrel, your front round nose pliers, or, you know, just something that you can make a loop with. And I'm just going to grab hold of that. I just had to double check then to make sure I was going the right way. Okay, that one is ugly and way too big. But as I said, that's better to have more wire than not enough, so you just can cut some off. And reshape that loop. And break its neck. So it's sitting like that. And close it up. Straighten it up. Now again, if you don't have a tumbler, give that a hammer. You can hammer it with your metal hammer or with your rubber hammer. If you hammer it with your metal hammer, it's going to flatten and change shape, but with your rubber hammer it won't. Okay, now that link is ready to go and hook on in a chain. You could just add some, you know, just some chain to it. Add a couple of these. Anyway, I'll show you some ideas when we come back. So I won't be a sec. Okay, now this is a chain that I put together using the leaf motif that we just the leaf link that we just made. So I've got some mookaite. I love mookaite beads. They're mined in Australia, and I don't love them just because they're from Australia, but they're all the colours of the outback, so that's what I just love about them. Okay, so I've got some down here that, now these graduate, so I've got a bigger one going down to a smaller one there, and I've got just the mookites wire wrapped up there, and then we come up here and we've got two there. Then I've got a length of chain that goes all the way around the back of your neck. There is no clasp on it, so it's easy to put on, and the chain behind the back of the neck just makes it way more comfortable to wear. Then we come down to a little mookaite link there. It's got a bit of a bend in it, that's from being in a bag. Down to three of the leaf motifs here, and another mookaite, and then we're back to the beginning. So that's an idea for a necklace. I think that's lovely, and it sits beautifully on your neck. I also want to show you another idea I had is adding a bead. This is an earring. It's quite a long earring, this one. You could make this part here shorter. If you want to see a tutorial for this, what it's supposed to represent, and I hope you can see it, is that it's a twig with a leaf at the bottom. So that's my idea of a organic twiggy shaped, you know. Anyway, that's the earring idea that I came up with. As I said, you could make this shorter if you wanted to, or make your leaf smaller. Even just your leaf on an ear wire would be beautiful. You could do, you know, something like that. Also too, if you want to see this, how I wrap the bead on there, just let me know down in the comments. If I get enough people, I will do tutorials on something like that. Just show you the single one on its own. It says just put a little ear wire on that and you've got a lovely pair of earrings. All right, guys, well, that's that one for this week. Don't forget the Facebook group. I'll leave a link down the bottom. If you'd like to join that, it's free, and it's a safe group. There's questions there that you need to answer. Also agree to the group rules to be admitted into the group. It's a great spot to get inspiration if you're looking for inspiration. I post my work there. Other people, like members, post their work there. So there's lots of inspiration. If you need help, there's people like myself and other people in the group that can give you a hand if if you're stuck with something, or you know, whatever, you just can ask a question there. So I'll leave a link down the bottom for that. Okay, guys, that's all I've got to say. I shall catch you all next week. Everybody have a lovely week and go out there and make something beautiful.